Big changes are coming at the United States Mint with the supposed resignation of the Mint director herself. Let's talk about it in this video as we explore. In an unconfirmed report from Alan Rappaport over at the New York Times, there is some breaking news that Ventress Gibson, the director of the United States Mint, emailed staff on last week on Thursday to say that she is retiring at the end of this month. Gibson is the first black director of the Mint and was nominated by former President Joseph R. Biden Jr. in 2022. This is big news, folks. This comes at the heels of what Alan Rappaport also says here, that in the previous week that the Treasury Department said that it had placed individuals at the United States Mint on administrative leave and was investigating allegations of practices related to diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that were contrary to President Trump's policies. I actually reported on that from the Free Press that did an exclusive on that story, and it was quite something else indeed. It was quite a shakeup in that regard already. Some of these policies that I reported on in my prior video were very controversial, as I have been called very nasty names for calling out this practice of DEI, because I feel that people should be hired based off of merit, not based off of their identity in terms of their physical appearance or preference of any sort. I believe in people that are equal opportunity for all. That's really what it's about. That's what this country was founded upon. Give everybody the chance, and you as livers succeed based off of how well you do in life. The content of your character is really what matters here. But nonetheless, there was quite a shakeup already, as reported by the Free Press, as I mentioned in my prior video on this topic, that was really revealing as to what had occurred there. These programs, the DEI program, not only at the Mint but in other places, where employees were shuffled around in order to hide these equal opportunity or DEI initiatives and departments within these, and divisions within these departments. And so they were moving employees around to the point where one employee really essentially got the shaft, even though he had been there longer than the others and had more support in his prior role, or more experience rather in his prior role, and had done very well. But nonetheless, this is what we're looking at here, and has caused quite a controversy. And our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, who was appointed by Trump, has called this out and has placed people on administrative leave. Could Ventress Gibson be resigning due to this activity? Maybe she was forced out. You never know. It'll be very interesting to see and find out what her resignation letter will say to the public, as opposed to what was said in private. We don't know the details of that letter, and we really don't know for sure if this has been confirmed or not, although reporters, especially those who work in major organizations, well, they tend to have contacts on the inside. So more than likely, this is probably true. I first found out about this from a comment on a prior video that I had done on this topic, and so I did some further deep dive and digging and research, and found this obscure post over on X, which I'm going to link to in the description below. Now, I think that it'll be very interesting to see who replaces Ventress Gibson and how long it will take to replace her. For those of you who remember, I believe during the last Trump administration, it took quite a while before we had a Mint director assigned and confirmed into the position. I believe that was David Ryder. But there was a long time where the deputy director had taken over. And what will the deputy director do in this case? Will the deputy director continue the same process? And who knows what will happen. There was some controversy with the United States Mint and Ventress Gibson as the head of the Mint a couple of years ago, when this coin right here was not produced to demand, which is by law supposed to happen. We're supposed to produce enough silver eagles to meet demand. This American silver eagle is the most popular bullion coin on the planet, hands down. There's no other coin that comes close. And so there's a lot of people that want these things. And of course, the premiums a couple of years ago were sky high. They have now since met demand, or meeting demand. Of course, there has been a lot less demand for any kind of silver and gold bullion out there in the last year or so, although some of that is changing now. But because of how busy the United States Mint is, they have the most limited options for bullion products out there. In fact, you're looking at all the different options, every single one for the year 2025. These are 2025 dated coins, and they're all right here for you. This one here, I happen to get from Summit Metals, who is the channel sponsor, and they did a very good job fulfilling this order for me. Summit Metals, they have very low prices, very competitive compared to other dealers out there, a great service, and fast shipping. So check out summitmetals.com. Now, as we look at these options, we also have the 1 ounce gold eagle, the half ounce gold eagle, the quarter and 1/10 ounce gold eagle, and then the buffalo. And that's it. Those are your only options, whereas other mints have more variety out there. And the reason why the United States Mint doesn't have more variety in that regard is legislation limits them, and that's not the case with other mints. They pretty much have free reign to produce whatever they want based off the market conditions and the like. Most of these options require congressional approval. There are some exceptions with some gold coins, collector coins, but we've not seen any other options out there. But what I would like to see is, and my hope is, that whoever replaces Ventrix Gibson will be have more experience in terms of production and factory and manufacturing. We'd love to see somebody in there that maybe knows a little bit more about quality control to be able to provide the best quality products that we can get. One of my big pet peeves is something called finning. And you can see it on this American Gold Eagle, although it's not quite as pronounced on this one. Summit Metals did a good job picking out one for me that has a minimal amount of finning. But this, as you can see there, has that line there above the rim. That's a wire edge, essentially. That wire edge is when the coin is struck and the metal flows out to the edge of the collar. Flowing outside of the edge and the rim, creating that very sharp edge there. It happens very commonly with buffaloes, with gold buffaloes, because the gold buffalo really is a high relief coin. And you can see here the relief is much more exposed there, much greater relief on these coins than the American Eagle. And so this is where it typically happens, but it happens also in proof coins as well, and it's a big problem, especially with the United States Mint. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I would love to see that go away. I'd love to see a mint director who is aware of that and can address that issue. That's a problem that extends beyond Ventrix Gibson's tenure, by the way. It's been going on a long time at the United States Mint. It would be nice to see a director who is also maybe even a collector, somebody who has an interest in coins, much like we had with Edmund C. Moy, who actually did tackle the finning issue as with regards to the 2009 ultra high relief gold double eagle. But nonetheless, there's other manufacturing and problems as well with regards to silver eagles. Now, this case here, this is a 2025 issue. I've not seen any milk spots on this yet, but they've been known to appear, and we've seen it happen in the last 4 or 5 years, especially with silver eagles. More and more milk spots. Love to see that issue be resolved as well. So there's a myriad of different production and quality issues that I think the United States Mint can tackle. There's some challenges ahead among the other things. You need somebody that needs quite a bit of experience in managing a large organization, and also with regards to manufacturing and production and quality control. And there's so many different things, especially with the challenges that face the United States Mint ahead, that hopefully a new director will be able to take the helm. I hope we do get a new director and we don't have this long gap in between. This controversy is something that is really problematic, because I think that large organizations like this, the United States Mint being the only one that actually turns a profit, of which those profits go to pay down the national debt, the United States Mint is an important organization. And so I think that there's a lot of different things that can be done. And I think another thing that they should do is lower prices. They can lower prices rather than spending all this money on DEI programs. And that goes away, among other things, to streamline the United States Mint. They should be able to still make money or produce a profit, but also be able to provide quality collector coins. Right now, if you were to buy a proof version of this coin or this coin, you're going to pay about $800 above spot, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So there you have it. It'll be very interesting to see what happens from here on out with the new Mint director, whoever that will be, and if we'll get anybody soon. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments section below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.